How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando. It's Monday, August the 15th, 8:43 p.m. Thank you so much for being live. We're about 12 people live right now. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. We're winning, guys. I mean, Orlando City won against the Red Bulls away. Then you got Orlando Pride also getting a massive win against the San Diego Wave, and OCB as well with a brace from Jack Lynn, which there's some news apparently about Jack Lynn coming up soon. So we'll talk about all of that and more. Thank you so much. Before we go into your comments, I know people have been leaving their comments. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and tell you guys to keep subscribing to our channel. Click on the notification bell for all notifications. We're also live on Twitter at LPO_podcast, and also live on our Facebook at Loud and Proud Orlando. So thank you so much for all your support. Paola, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy Monday. It's my favorite time of Monday. Be with you guys. How about that? So I'm happy. And then with all those three, 9 points, because Pride, OCB, plus Orlando, I'm happy. So
9 points. 9 points.
Yeah. Surprised me,
Dave.
huh? I'm just kidding.
No, I think that 3 great wins. Dave, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. Happy Monday to everybody. Just like Paola said, 9-point weekend. Look at that. Winning. It's rare nowadays, so we have to enjoy it, when they come by. So what are the wins? Basically, Orlando City defeating 2-0 New York City 2. The Pride going out west to San Diego Wave and snatching a Pappy special of their own. I guess a Seb Hines special, we got to call them now. On other news, the Crusaders of indoor soccer have named former announcer for Orlando City, a legendary man on his own right, the fantastic tactician Tom Traxler, as their new manager. First player signed to the team, Wildman Will Johnson, former Lion, is going to be playing with them. They're going to be playing their games at the Addition Plus Arena at UCF, at the campus at UCF. I personally am excited for indoor soccer. If you never had the experience with the Orlando Seawolves, well, it's coming back, baby. And other news, the game that originally was supposed to be played the Sunday before our Open Cup final in Miami has been moved to October 5th. I want to clarify something that has been going on. A lot of people are saying, oh my God, we're going to have 3 games in October. Relax. There's going to be 2 weeks off in September before we hit this Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday games all in 1 week. I think it's the best that we can do under circumstances, because quite honestly, we can afford to gift Miami a win, and definitely we couldn't afford to go into the Open Cup final with tired leg. Pedro Galese claims the club record for clean sheets this past game. Fabian Loyola from OCB was the man of the match at the MLS All-Star for the academies. So congratulations to the young Lion. And this one pains me to say, but the 20th,000 goal in MLS was scored at the Atlanta versus FCC game by an Atlanta player who nobody cares. It's not an Atlanta podcast, where we are bringing it up because aside from the fact that it was offside. Woo! Yeah, so that's the 20th,000. So our league reaches another milestone. Luis.
So we're 14 people live. Thank you so much. I read some comments before we start on the first topic of the day. Joshua Tall, very glad Orlando City won in pride. Yeah, fantastic. Christian Seidel, hello. Hi. Christian Seidel, will Orlando City win the cup? Yes. A U.S. Open Cup? Yes, they will win the cup. I say right now, I think Orlando has everything to win the cup. If they don't win the cup, it'll be one of the worst disasters in franchise history, my opinion. Will Orlando City win the Champions League? Not right now. Not with the squad that we have. I don't think we're capable of winning the Champions League. CONCACAF Champions League, obviously. But let's see what the front office can do, right, in the next few years. The Sounders did it, right? So let's see what they can do. Ruckus Dainos, he says, hello, how you doing, my friend? Daulan Coca, let us win the cup first, man. That's right. Yeah, Victor Sanchez, vamos Orlando. Victor Sanchez, how you doing, my friend? It says Christian Seidel. It says Atlanta will knock us out of the playoffs. We'll see. Are you an Atlanta fan? No. I like that your jersey never changes every year. Christian Seidel, how big is the U.S. Open Cup trophy? It's very big. Yeah, it's very big for Orlando. Huge, huge. Hector Ayala, you guys saw how Pareja celebrate that W? That was a big one for them. I mean, winning away against a team that it's tough to beat in their own home turf. Whether you want to call it bingo special, papi special, no, baby special. I mean, the whole purpose of soccer is to win games. Uruguayan soccer, it's never been the best, most tiki-taka style soccer, for example. They've always prioritized the defense and the crosses and having a lot of momentum in the midfield and recuperating the ball, playing very hard, very physical league. Like Brazil plays that beautiful, style of dynamic soccer that everyone in the world wants to see. In the 1994 Brazilian team, for example, amazing team, right? Um, we're not there yet, and I think our priority moving forward should be win games, no matter how we win them, because there are other teams on the hunt, right, Dave? There's teams on the hunt, and if we slip up, no playoffs for us. So let's move forward. Ahmed Salim, any news on Pato? Yes, we do have some news on Pato. This is Victor Rivera. I love the idea they changed the date for the so-called Miami team. That's right. Jose L. Chose, it says, vamos Orlando. Vamos Orlando. That's right. It was nice to see Torres score that goal, says Joshua Tall. Victor Sanchez, so happy I was allowed to cancel my hotel room for the fake Miami game in Fort Lauderdale. That's a good one. All right, guys. So we start with the game against New York Red Bulls. Personally, I wasn't expecting this, to be honest with you. I was expecting to take a fat L and coming over here and talk about how, we'll see what could happen. We got to focus on the U.S. Open Cup. I wasn't expecting it. A great play from Pedro Galese, linking up with Junior Urso, and then Junior Urso found Facundo Torres, and that's the reason why they signed him, right? To score those type of goals. And I love the fact that he now is getting the freedom that he's been wanting right in the attacking third. And I think if we see more of that, we're going to see Facundo Torres staying in this league maybe for one more season, and then we're going to see him, be forever a Lion in Europe, because that's his goal, right? And I think he needs to keep scoring. It doesn't matter how he scores, as long as he scores wearing the purple jersey, and for his benefit also, for his goal going overseas. I think it's a win-win, not only for him, but also for the club. And, it was great to see. Obviously, I believe the keeper had a little bit on it, believe it or not. I do believe that the keeper could have done a little more, but good for us, And then we learned how to play like New York Red Bulls played against us before, that Very, very defensive. Antonio Carlos, I don't understand why that man was not on the MLS Team of the Week. I think that voting is rigged a lot of the times. Pedro Galese as well. Now I see people saying, oh, Pedro Galese, great keeper, man. Great keeper, man. But, 5 months ago, they're like, oh, or no, last year when it was for the MLS All-Star too. Oh, no, best keeper in the MLS award. Oh no, he's played too much for Peru. He can't get it because the stats, my friend. Honestly, he's the best keeper in the MLS. I mean, he's doing great. There's a lot of things to cover. Pato's injury, it's the first one that we're going to start. Let's talk about that. I think that's what people want to hear about. I want to say thank you to our colleague, Mike Gramajo, because he's the one who broke it down. I don't know if you want to give that info, Dave, while I look for the picture.
Yeah, well, basically, our friend Mike Gramajo has, as a matter of fact, why don't we just read verbatim the tweet, because it has all the information there. You got it?
Yeah, right here. Yeah. So, Alexandre Pato injury update. Pato suffered an injury to his right knee in the game at Red Bull on Saturday. Yesterday, scans revealed damage to the internal structures of the knee. Of a period of consultation with Orlando Health has begun. Okay. So they're still going to see what type of damage it is, right? Because it could be the cartilage. Could be the cartilage of the knee. How do I know this? Because Jefferson Farfan had a similar injury, which is one of the players from the Peruvian national team.
Yeah, they're probably, Luis, they're probably gonna, because Mike continues saying, continue from team spokesperson, we will provide updates as they become available following further assessment in the coming days. So being that the medical field is what I do for a living, most likely they're gonna do exploratory with the scope. Basically, they just cut a very small incision, introduce a tiny camera. It's basically like a long tube they put in there to see the damage. So they have this big monitor, and that way they can see what the damage looks like. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. When he was, anytime you see a player like banging in pain on the ground and going like that, when they are just putting pressure, I already knew he was gone. I don't think I think we have seen Pato for the last time in Orlando.
What are your thoughts there, Paola, about Pato's injury?
It's sad. It's sad. We were seeing one of the best performance on Saturday. And let me clarify: the Galese ball went to him first, to Pato, and then Pato saw Urso, and then Facu scored that goal. I mean, I was scared after he went out of that game. I was like, oh man, this is gonna change the game. But the boys just settle down and keep up fighting, and that's why we won. But at the same time, when I saw, like David just said, when he was putting pressure to his knee and doing like oh my god, so I was like, it's over for Pato, unfortunately. I think it's the same knee that he got some replacement last year, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just sad because he was playing great this past game, and things happen. That's cruel. Like David says, cruel. Soccer is cruel. So there you go.
Well, I want to say that he's had a lot of muscle injuries during his playing career. His current career. In Italy, for example, when he was in AC Milan between 2010 and 2012, he pretty much was he missed like over 20 games at a time. A lot of the reason, and they did a clinical study on him in Italy, was that he had a growth spurt during those years. He gained weight and he added about a lot of bone density and grew 8 centimeters during that time. and he put on too much muscle, a lot. So he started getting tears, muscle tears after muscle tear, and obviously that deteriorates that. Now, when it comes to his knee, I just think that what Dave just said, that's fantastic that they're going to find out. I just think that, yeah, maybe he's done for the season. Maybe safe to say, but I wouldn't. I think it's a little bit disrespectful saying he's done forever. I don't think no player wants to you to take him out. um, but then again, I wish him the best. I mean, he had a phenomenal game, but Orlando needs to move on. Orlando needs to think fast, and I think now with him being gone, unfortunately, Facundo Torres needs to step up, and he needs to play on that spot. If not, have the freedom to move around that whole attacking third. I don't know. What are your thoughts there, Dave?
Well, maybe just spitballing here, we can recall a player that we sent on loan to Ecuador that this past weekend had 2 goals, 46 touches, pass completion, 48 passes, 26 touches, a completion of 97%. Man of the match. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? I'm talking about El
Alvarado.
Enano Alvarado. Please, Alexander Alvarado. If somebody has the Alvarado signal at 655 West Church Street, throw it out in the heavens, because we are really up the creek right now without a paddle, with Pato quite possibly being done. And just to go back with what Paula was saying, it is the same knee that he hurt on the first game last year. Uh, Personally, I thought the foul was unnecessary, was too harsh, should have been a PK in my book. I know a lot of people are like, well, I personally, any tackle from behind is always dangerous. That's why I always want yellow cards when tackles from behind. First of all, the opposing player doesn't know you're coming, and this is why we instituted yellow cards on any tackle from behind. Why? Because of situations like this. This is how careers are damaged. And I'm gonna be quite honest. There has to be some professionalism with these players, because you don't do dirty tackles like that. That's just me. That's the view. Obviously, we manage Pato's minutes to allow him to get over to the end of the season. I would have loved to see Pato in the Open Cup. I think Pato unleashed on a USL team, it would have been highlights for years to come. And unfortunately, we're gonna be denied that because of a dirty tackle. And I'm sorry. That's If you review the tackle again, you can see Pato doesn't know it's coming. His knees buckle. It was completely harsh and unnecessary.
No, I agree. I agree. I think that should have been a penalty, in my opinion, too.
And a yellow card. Neither were
At
called.
least.
Neither were called. So
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Let's read some comments here, because we have a lot of people commenting here right now. Victor Sanchez, Christian, who cares about Man United? Not me. Uh, don't play fiddle to the troll, my friend. Don't get in the troll trap, huh? Tolan Coca, what if the Ecuadorian league is weaker in comparison to MLS? So he's doing well there. The Ecuadorian league, in my opinion, is in a superior level in physicality than the MLS. MLS does have the more name recognition, but I mean, you're talking about playing CONMEBOL is far superior than playing CONCACAF. Far superior. I mean, the people you play against are players that are definitely going to play in Europe. at some point. So Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, I think it's another another game. Says, can you hear Neo Red Bull sing? I can hear. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Can you hear that Red sing? I can hear that fucking sing. Isn't that a child song? No. Yeah, isn't that the same in pre-K, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. But
No, oh, City, mi gran amigo, desde la hinchada me he copiado la canción, me la copié de Argentina,
oh, you don't
pero
know, bro. Don't. Let's not start with chance, because then
no
we're gonna have
me
a face off
que
here.
digan, no que digan los demás,
Demás.
no te
So
sigo
that's the
entonces.
original song. Okay.
De
Ya
Ray
te
Chico,
quiero
too.
más. Yeah,
Sí, you are my best friend.
yeah,
Voy a
yeah. Mi gran amigo, mi gran amigo.
They should do when the punks go marching in. They should do that too.
There's a lot of listen. We're obviously again going down another rabbit hole in this show. The fans don't know that after we are done, we tend to sometimes stay talking for another. We do another show after we're done recording. But there's a ton of chance that we had that we can apply and that we're not using, which is frustrating. But I'll leave it at that. To go back to the Pato situation, um, it's like I said, it's on it. Could have never happened. It never happens to the villains. It's always happens to the good.
Yep, that's right. You're so right. You know, I mean, he's been a player that, I mean, whether you like it or not, he's played because he wanted to play here. He had other offers, I know for a fact, but he wanted to play here. He wanted to stay here, and whether you like it or not, I think he has contribute somewhat because we have a bad attack. I mean, let's just be honest, we can't score goals. So I think he has contributed to at least for us to score some type of goals right now. Now the good thing is Erjan Kar is back from injury. He was in practice today. He practiced normally, and again, we have this Facundo Torres. He's scoring almost in every game now. He's doing a nanny special, right? Trying to be that guy who will score the goal, right? And definitely, I think they should give him the freedom. Now, talking about Alexander Alvarado, it's a good thing that you were mentioning him. I think he's I mean, I want to say hello to him because he used to watch the show when he was in Orlando too. He's definitely a player that I wouldn't mind him coming back. The issue is he wants to stay in Ecuador. From my sources tell me, is he talked to an Ecuadorian radio show today, and he said that he's just waiting for his contract with Orlando to um, expire this year, and then for Liga Deportiva Universidad de Quito, LDU, buys out his contract, the option to buy, because this is a loan with an option to buy. So, I mean, can Orlando get a better player than Alvarado?
Can you blame him? I mean, not for nothing here. We didn't play the guy.
Yeah, we didn't play him. He was the bench of the bench.
Yes, and I mean, I believe if I listen, I pride myself for being a like a radical from the center of the role fan, and I can honestly say that if this man played 20 minutes in his whole time here, it's an exaggeration. He goes back to Ecuador and they unleash him, and I get angry because on the preseason games we saw a lot of stamina, a lot of great play from him, and unfortunately during the season we just did not play the guy. One thing I wanna mention about Facundo Torres, since he's in that picture there, is that on Twitter I said that our goal, aside from the fact that yes, there was a lot of talent and effort from the guys. It also had a little bit of luck, and people were like, "Oh, you are discounting the players. You're disrespecting them." I'm like, listen, I said it 1,000 times. Football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. I said that all the time. If you look at the goal, Facundo's ball actually goes a little deviated and gets a deflection from the goalkeeper's leg, hits the the far post, boom, it's in. And this is one thing, guys, that we have said in this podcast and in other people's podcasts and on Twitter and on Facebook, wherever. The fact that if you shoot on frame, things are gonna happen. If you throw balls at the cauldron, al calentón, like we say in Puerto Rico, you throw it in there, things can happen. Handballs, corner kicks, deflections. I mean, look at the deflection that Arsenal used to open up the score. They kicked, the ball hit Antonio Carlos in the back, inside the goal. Things happen if you shoot, but we are not doing that. We're not doing that, so things don't happen. So that's what I was referring to when I said that it was a lucky goal. Perhaps some
Well, I
people.
mean, the keeper had something to do with it too. I mean, he was
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, for sure.
He was badly positioned, and the good thing
Mhm.
is that we have a player that has the creativity to know this guy is out of position. Number one, he's attacking through the flank, and he knows this dude, it's out of position. I'm gonna hit it between his legs. He ain't gonna catch it because he knows the technique he's gonna use to shoot. So, I mean, that's why he costs 13 million. You know what I mean? To deliver those type of quality. Remember, Nani's goals. I mean, unbelievable, right? So, good for him. You know what I mean? I just think, and good for Orlando. And as long as Orlando was able to play, I mean, they played defense. I mean, this was a 90% defense and maybe 10% offense, in my opinion. And after Pato's injury, I believe that they lost a lot of offensive prowess after that. And I wish I would have seen Wilder Cartagena a little bit more. And I don't. I mean, he's not a 10, guys. He's an 8 or a 6. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say, "No, why don't you put him right behind the striker?" It's like, no, no, no. He's an 8 or a 6. Now he can definitely associate himself and try to find link up plays in attack because he's a very fast player. But he's an 8 or a 6. I think he'll be great to see. I mean, if you're talking about Alvarado, if you bring him back, in my opinion, it will be, let's say, a starting match. Let's say we play against Austin. I'll put Urso, Cartagena, no, Araujo, Cartagena, and then Alvarado. No, and then I'll put Mauricio. Um, maybe give him some rest. I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking here. If you, let's say Mauricio gets injured. Now, if it's Facundo Torres, it'll be good to see one game being Cartagena, Araujo, and then Facundo right on Mauricio's position, and then with Erjan Kara right there. Now, one thing that you have to tell Facundo is he needs to defend because that's one thing that Mauricio does do when he loses the ball. He goes and defends. You can just stand back and think, "Oh, I'm a striker. That's not my role. That's not what I do." No, everyone needs to go defend. So let's just read some comments here. Jeffrey Ordaz says, "When show, who would you see managing OC in the near future?" Paola, who do you see managing OC in the near future?
I don't know top of my head right now, Nate. You put me on the spot. But what I can see is a brighter future if we change I don't know, managing. You said it last week. The guy from Peru, but we need money.
Ricardo
Luis.
Gareca. Ricardo
There you go.
Gareca.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that'd be funny. What
Can you
about you,
imagine?
Dave? Yeah,
Well,
that'd be
I,
great.
I tell you what, I we got money. Sky's the limit. I mean, we can
I mean,
dream.
and he'll
And
be so comfortable here. I mean, I think he'll be comfortable here. I mean, if you want to dream, I mean, he
no,
was
for sure.
a top 3 managers for national teams in South America, top 3 of the best paid.
Yeah, no, I got something. I got something to say about that. I the fact that a lot of people are willing to discuss this topic with me via DM and not out in the public speaks volumes about our fan base, or some a sector of our fan base where we cannot have healthy debate without name calling, blocking, muting, and
Ooh.
you know what I mean. I think in for those that follow my vlog, I dedicated the latest video to this exact topic, where we can say honestly that Oscar Pareja is a fantastic individual, that Oscar Pareja is well liked by his staff and by the fans, but that perhaps it's time to explore new options. That's all I actually, that's the first time I said that. My goodness, I was called all sorts of names. People doubted my commitment to the club. And I have in this podcast, I have given the examples of the teams I fought, all this other stuff. And unfortunately, guys, we continue chasing our tails with this. Um, I personally, I'm very clear, very honest. I know who listens to this. I know who watches this podcast and who listens to this podcast. And this podcast has always been, has never, things that this podcast has never been, is being cheerleaders for the club, hiding their dirty laundry, being carrying somebody's luggage. We have never done that. And if people want us to be a lot of positivity, then give me a paycheck, give me a shirt that says Orlando City. Let me work for the club, and I'll give you that information. But I'm a fan. I gotta be truthful to myself, truthful to you guys, and the two people here sharing the screen with me know, because you fans send us messages, thanking us for the show, and congratulating us on the fact that we don't go to bed with nobody, and that we have to be truthful to ourselves. I really like Oscar Pareja, the person. I just think that at this level, perhaps this is as much as the chain goes, right? As much as this it stretches, and perhaps we need to explore different options. That's all I have said. And some people have called me nasty names. I don't know, but I just wanted to make that clear, friends, that there's options out there. We have the money. We need to explore them.
I mean, what are your thoughts about that, Paola? About Oscar Pareja's replacement?
I mean, let's be honest. If we look at the last game match, I think if we didn't win on the road, I don't know if his future was secured or not, because he celebrated like it was a final. Those 3 points, yes, they are important because we needed those 3 points since we played DC the last time. Um, I think I don't know if we win the Open Cup, he's gonna be still around. I don't know. I think there are changes coming in the postseason. That's my train of thought. If he stays, I will see him as an assistant coach. Props. There's a possibility. I don't know, but like David said, I like the personality of Oscar. He's a great guy, but we need to start winning games if we want a trophy. We have a trophy nearby in September 7th. We're gonna win it because I'm claiming it. I want to see that cup lifted. You're gonna see me with a purple hair. I don't care. I'm gonna spray my hair. I'm saying it here today. And then if we want an MLS Cup, we need to start winning games. If it wasn't for that Facu's goal, what could happen? We could have lost 3 points or 2 points, let's say. So, and we almost lost we got choppy at the last 5 minutes of the game in stoppage time. I thought that we were gonna concede a goal because we committed a foul on near the post. So I was scared. I was like, "Oh my god, let's see this turned out." I was watching like this on the television because I was scared. I thought that we were going to lose 2 points at least, but the boys did their job. That's why he celebrated the 3 points. And if we want a MLS Cup, we need to start winning games.
the ugly truth, my friends, and this is something that I had told Luis at the death. The hero of the game was my man from Lisbon, Portugal, Joao
Moutinho.
Moutinho, who cleared what basically was a goal cantado, seal and deliver, friends. That goal had beaten Pedro. Let me tell you something. Pedro Gales being beaten on the far post. Rare that happens. And that ball was a foot away from his hand. And if it wasn't for Joao Moutinho, it would have ended up 1-1. We would have been, based on those numbers, we would have been right above Chicago in ninth or 10th place, and people would have been crying bloody murder and asking for heads. One of the things I have said, because I see my man Victor with the comment that I would love to get to, and if Luis knows my heart, he knows which one I'm talking about. No, the one before that. Um, there you go. I wanna make something clear. If you follow me on social media, I want to entertain you. I don't want you to follow me so you can see pictures of what I eat for lunch or my kids or I don't know, whatever. I want to entertain you. I want to inform you. You know what I'm saying? I take that as a responsibility. This past week, I ran numbers. I ran numbers. Adrian Heath with Minnesota United since 2017 has done better in MLS than all his counterparts that have followed him in Orlando City, including Oscar Pareja, which arguably everybody, including myself, calls the best Orlando City manager in MLS history. So, what I'm trying to say with this, to go back to what we already talked about, exploring different options. When I know Luis is, I got,
Hey, look,
hold
he's not bringing his son. He's not bringing
hold
his
on,
son to go on gate D and open the door for me when I
hold on a
go in
second.
and cover.
So I can unleash this. the the fact is that the old ownership listened to the new fans. They let him go. They didn't give him the time, and we have seen what has happened in Minnesota. They're making playoffs comfortably. I always, till the day I die, I will always say that it was a mistake to let him go. But but again, I ran the not I posted the information and I said, hey, not bad for our USO coach, because that's the comment that the old ownership threw out at him on the way out. Funny how they went and actually hired our USO coach, James O'Connor, who was the worst manager of Orlando City history. But friends, as much as I like that, Victor, the fact is that we need to move on. Inchi has moved on forever in my heart. The man that built this city, the man that designed this stadium. But at the end of the day, we have to. I want somebody better than Inchi. Somebody better. I don't want an MLS coach, because we have the last three teams that have won MLS Cup have proven that you don't need this tactical maestro of MLS. You can just go and get a coach, a manager that can get you results. With that, I finish that.
I mean, I think Inchi's time in Orlando City was well lived, and I think he's definitely gonna bring his son. He's gonna bring a lot of people from Ireland, from. I mean, not to say nothing wrong. I'm just saying it's just. I mean, the signings he brought in too when he was in Orlando, in my opinion, weren't up to par to what Orlando now. I don't know if that's something that Flavio had to do with it or not, but I just think that, I mean, like you said, let's move on and see. I will love Miguel Angel Ramirez, for example, if let's say they decide Oscar is gonna part ways and end things amicably, because he did change the face of the franchise. I do believe that Miguel Angel Ramirez would be a great option. He's without a club right now. He had a bad stint with Charlotte. And I think coming into Orlando City with the Wolves and the winning mentality, I think it goes hand in hand on what he really wants and what he
Luis,
really wanted to do.
if people really like Oscar, Miguel Angel Ramirez is gonna pocket this team
Oh yeah,
and his fan base.
certainly.
And I'm not being biased because he's Canarian, and for those that don't know, I have Canarian ancestry. So Canarian culture and Puerto Rican culture are basically the same because without Canarians, there wouldn't be Puerto Ricans.
Esta Canaria,
Um,
Paula la Canaria.
yeah, Paul is Canadian. So anyways, I like his style, man. I really do. And I, like you said, Luis, I felt that he was done
Yeah,
dirty by Charlotte. But again, I think let's not disrespect our profe.
of
He's still in,
course.
he's still in charge of this club. And like I said, friends, I feel that at the end of the day, regardless of what this club decides to do, we owe a debt of gratitude to the Profe Pareja, who came at a moment of turmoil, a
Exactly.
moment where nobody gives us a chance, took us to a final, and MLS is back, took us to playoffs for the first time, uh, um, took us to a playoffs the second time. God willing, he's going to take us a third time, and he's going to leave us with a trophy. That to me, it's like cold status. But
Yeah.
again, me personally, David Valentin, the human being, the person, feels that with Pareja's contract expiring in December and a lot of the players' contracts expiring in December, maybe it's time to shuffle things up a little
Um,
bit.
when it comes to what we're looking here in the image, and thank you to the 22 people watching live right now. Um, so we gotta win the next two games. If we don't want to drop any points, if we don't want to be dead last, because it's look, Miami, New England, Cincinnati, we
Neck and
all
neck.
it's we're neck to neck, and then
Woo!
Chicago is only a point away.
My
So
goodness.
we gotta beat. I mean, Charlotte, it is a direct rival of us right now.
Yes.
Because if we lose against them, and let's say Inter, New England, Cincinnati win,
Oh wow, man! I didn't know how many all those
yeah, we
teams.
will, we will, we will, we will drop like really low. We're gonna be like
Like
sharing
a
the spot.
fly. We're gonna drop like
We're
a
gonna,
fly.
we're gonna be dropping to the 11th place
So
or like
Luis, if you look at that, aside from winning and tying and getting points and all that, how many goals you conceded, how many goals you score are may
yeah,
be the
yeah.
decisive factor this year.
So I think being conservative defensively and knowing, I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, parking the bus and stuff like that." The stage Orlando City is now, we cannot have pretty tiki taka football. We just can't. Orlando City
Right.
needs to just win. It doesn't matter how they win, whether it's the most boring game in the world, but Orlando City needs to win the next two games. Because if Orlando doesn't win the next two games, it drops like dead to the 11th place. And I don't think Orlando wants that. Now, you know, but personally, I don't really care if Urgent scores, if Antonio Carlos scores, if it's through a corner kick. I think Orlando needs to prioritize defense, set pieces, penalty taking in the attacking third, free kicks. You know, honestly, there needs to be at least two players that the players know these are the free kick takers. Now that Pato's not there, who's going to throw your corner kicks now? Is it going to be Mulroney? Is it going to be Facundo? Are you going to need Facundo maybe to be on the outside? So those are the things. Is it going to be Moutinho? So we got to take advantage of that because we have to win now. The good thing about NYCFC is that their Tati Castellanos is no longer there, but they still have this new kid, Thales Magno, which he's been playing pretty good, and they're starting him as a striker now, and they're calling him he's the reincarnation of Tati Castellanos, which I think it's hilarious. But then again, that's NYCFC for you, right? When it comes to Cincinnati, it surprised all of us, right? I think all of us. It's this team started clicking now, and we cannot. We Orlando still in a way depends on itself. So, but they gotta win. Like now, Orlando's forced to win the next two matches. I don't know. What are your thoughts there, Dave?
No, you said it all, brother. I mean, if you look at our schedule, something that we have gone over here with our listeners and our viewers, um, we have we have 3 games left this month. Wow, I can't believe this, guys. That time is flying by this fast. So this Sunday, Charlotte has to be a result.
Yeah,
I mean,
a W.
it has to be. Yeah, a W. I would, worst case scenario, a tie. We have to get points out of this
Yeah,
game. NYC, uh,
you gotta beat them at
yeah,
home.
we have to. I mean, not for nothing. We have the best record again of any club against New York City. It will be a nice matchup. Um, we always manage to play very well at home versus this team. Then we have Seattle
Sounders.
Sounders, which is the dark horse here. What version of the Seattle Sounders are we getting? A lot of people are dismissing them. They're like, oh, they're gonna miss the playoffs for the first time in their history, blah blah blah. But we tend to have amnesia the fact that this is the CONCACAF champion, and they won with those players. And if on Wednesday the 31st they decided tonight's the night, then we're gonna find ourselves in a dangerous situation. Plus, on top of that, not very only a handful of Eastern teams still have games against Western foes. So this doesn't really help us on our a win here. Obviously, 3 points is great, but it doesn't really help us on our pursuit to playoffs because the team getting the points taken away from them is not really in our conference. Um, and then we go into September now. Obviously, with the changes that we have heard about with Miami, then that puts us on Open Cup.
That's right.
uh, Basically, we're gonna have a full week of
That's
rest.
right.
Our last game is gonna be at home before that. So uh, September 7th should be, in my opinion, a day of reckoning, a day of lifting trophies. And after that, we're gonna have to put the afterburners, going to Philadelphia, receiving Atlanta on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. That's an odd kickoff time. Then we are going to have Toronto, a team that we beat at their house, a place where we have never won any games. And Toronto is, again, one of those teams that is bringing down our necks. The beauty of September, guys, is that we have two teams that are on the hunt, are on the chase. I think Philadelphia is unreachable for us at the moment. They pretty much are secure that they're going to win the East. And in October, again, reminding everybody, we're going to have 2 weeks of break in the third and fourth week of September. And then we hit these 3 games in the last week of the season. October 2nd, New York at New York City, which, by the way, reminder everybody that we're going to be playing at Red Bull Arena, which is going to be great. We don't have to go
Wow.
we don't have to go to the Yankee Stadium.
I'm playing in
Imagine
Jersey.
that they can play in Yankee Stadium. Why? Because it's the playoffs, the World Series time, and then so much for that, right? And then we are going to Miami, and I tell you what, I want to win. A lot of people are mad that it's not a weekend game; it's a Wednesday. I tell you what, Miami better not catch me working down in South Florida that Wednesday. That's all
Oh
I got.
yeah.
And then
I was planning on going too. So
down to bro,
um,
I wish I could, man. It's just really tough for me to go down there on
hey
a
man.
weekday. And
Uh,
then last decision day, 2:30 p.m. I don't know, guys, how you guys feel about a. I mean, it's gonna be cool, I guess, at that time of the year, but it's 2:30 kickoff. It's gonna be crazy against.
oh, it's cool. I like it because then you can go and
Well,
hit the pub. You know what I mean?
yeah. So it's gonna be downhill. I mean,
Pepas, pepas, pepas.
we're gonna be hitting a lot of games to close the season.
Fellas laughing.
We're gonna hit a lot of games. So I mean, it's listen, if you love football and you are here for the madness of it. You're the type of guys that enjoy car crashes, that enjoy watching people arguing and fighting. If you're that type of person, you need to be at Exploria Stadium for these games, because this is gonna put all that to shame. This is Sunday afternoon, neighbors arguing after a couple of beers. This is gonna be a car crash at
Why are you talking to my wife? Why are you talking to my wife like that?
yeah, that type of entertainment. This is what this is gonna be. If you enjoy all those things, I invite you to buy your ticket and go to Exploria.
No, it's. I want to say a couple of things. I know Paula's laughing. Do you want to say anything, Paula, before I go? Before I go?
No, you go ahead. You guys are hilarious. That's why I'm laughing between you and David.
So that's right. After that game, you can do Pepas by Bad Bunny. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, Orlando City, New York City. It's a classico, in my opinion. Orlando needs to win that game, no matter what. I mean, if the players truly believe that they need to make amends with the fan base, which I think they do, because I think Orlando this year has had one of the worst records at home in many years. This is the game they need to definitely say, you know what, let's make it up to them, because they came here, supported 19,000 people one game, 21,000 the other game, and then now when it comes to the Sounders, what we're forgetting is we have two Peruvian internationals playing in Orlando City, and their star man is Raul Ruiz. He's shorter than me. He's like this tall. They call him La Pulga, right? So he's
The flea. You gotta translate, brother.
The flea, right? I was gonna say the tick, but that's another
Yeah,
one.
okay, flea tick. Yeah, actually,
right.
you're closer.
Right. So, anyways, you have to play with two sixes that game. I'm just saying right now, you want to play in the mid. If you have one guy or two guys on him at all times, no goals. I guarantee you right now, he will not score. Plus, I guarantee you, Pedro and Wilder are gonna call him up. They're probably gonna try to, hey man, you're gonna come here and score in my turf. They're gonna try to like some sort of competition. He's gonna come out swinging, Ruiz. I'm just saying that he's gonna come out swinging, trying to prove himself, because obviously Cartagena and Galese are always part of the national team. They're always called up. And Ruiz, even though he's one of the best players, Peruvian players internationally, he was nixed by the national team, by Ricardo Areca, and the fan base hates him. Peruvians don't like Ruiz because he doesn't score goals for the national team. He only scores goals for the Sounders. So he has something to prove. He's going to come there knowing there's two Peruvian guys there. I'm going to be the best Peruvian out of the three, But how does Orlando protect himself against Ruiz and Joao Paulo? You have to have two sixes up there. You have to restrict attack. Either it's going to be Araujo and Cartagena, or Araujo and maybe Urso, But Orlando in the mid needs to play defensively. So recoup the ball, because they're a very fast team in transition. So you want to watch out for the Sounders. That's all I'm saying.
And I think Joao Paulo is not playing. He got an injury earlier this year. I think it was a torn ACL or something, but it was super bad. So just an FYI, we have that advantage.
Sure. Let's read some comments here. Victor Sanchez, don't get me wrong. I like Papi Pareja. He's from Medellin, Colombia, parce. My wife is from Medellin, and she told me, you better support Papi Pareja. There you go. That's right. Happy wife, happy life, right? Happy wife, happy life. That's right.
That's true.
Si no, vamos a... Mar Rodriguez, let's talk about ticket sales for the Open Cup final. It's looking like less than 85 tickets left. I think that's great, Dave. 85
that's I'm super happy. I
What,
bought tickets. I bought tickets the second they became available. I think the 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 excitement is there. The what's killing people is the fact that we had to wait a full month
yeah.
between the Red Bulls game and this. I think a lot of fan base just is just going through the games in the season like, okay, move, move, move. I want this the game that I want. It's gonna be interesting. A Wednesday night. Also, we have friends flying from Europe, flying from other states to catch this game. It's gonna be some. I'm telling you, man. I have nightmares at night. I go to bed, like sweating cold sweats, because I'm like, please don't send me anywhere in another part of the state. Don't give me work. Don't make me work overtime. Right now, my calendar is wide open. I'm telling you, I just like I don't know what to tell you guys. If you haven't purchased your ticket, please do so, because the fact of the matter is you want to be there. Imagine waking up, going to work on Thursday, September 8th, and your friends are showing up still, with purple nose hairs and smelling like victory, and probably just straight from the pitch telling you, did you watch the game? Were you there? And what you gonna tell them? No, don't be a loser. Be there.
No, that's right. And I want to go ahead and accentuate the fact here we got El Pulpo, right? He made history, right? He set a new single season record for clean sheets in club history with his eighth of the year. Um, I know that maybe it's a lot to ask, but let's sign him back for 2 more years, man. 2 more years, 2 more years, 2 more years, two
Listen,
more
I don't
years.
think there's a single person in this fan base that will disagree with that. And I gotta tell you this, Luis. At the beginning of the year, I was one of those idiots that was like, well, he's a fantastic player, but we can probably find somebody cheaper, or perhaps it's time for Mason to be the number one. Blah 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 blah. Listen, if you watch these games,
Yeah,
if you watch these games, this man, I mean, I'm looking at him. I'm actually watching us on my TV screen, and I look at this man right here, this Peruvian guy smiling back at me. This dude has. Some people are born with a talent to do something, and Pedro Gales is incredible. And Pedro Gales tells a story that for 7 years he was a backup in the reserves,
that's right.
that it got to the point
He used to.
where when he got married and he started having kids and all that, where he actually flirted with the idea on year 7, flirted with the idea of quitting football to go get a regular job.
No,
This
that
is
is true.
this is how close we
It's
came to
crazy.
missing out on this man.
He used to. It's funny that you say that, but he used to. Sometimes in some Peruvian teams, when you're in the youth, you literally pay to play. Sometimes, in his case, I think he did that a couple of times, believe it or not. And when he got his break against his first match in the professional, he was a backup for the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper got a red. He comes in and he got a penalty save. First match in the professionals, penalty save. So I just think he definitely he needs to be the one of the best paid goalkeepers in the MLS. I think he deserves it. I mean, Brad Guzan was worth 800K. My God, I think he definitely deserves to be paid more. I mean, we got him for peas and carrots, believe it or not, because he came from a failure and a bad experience
Yeah,
into
Tiburones de Veracruz.
Veracruz, a narco team. I'm going to
Yeah,
say it
yeah,
straight up, flat out,
a
narco
team that
team.
disappeared.
It's a narco team. It's a narco team. That's how they manage themselves over there. They treat him like garbage. He came to Orlando City for cheap, and he delivered greatly. But now, because just like in any job, if you excel and you do great, and you're the best in your team, you deserve to be paid accordingly. You can still live out of your rookie, pay. It'll be completely unfair. So let's see what the front office does. Now, if let's say he decides to go somewhere else, let's think. I have the replacement. It's another Peruvian guy. It's his number 2 in the national team, Carlos Cáceres. He right now plays in Melgar. I'm just gonna say right now, he's been playing at the level in Copa Sudamericana. Melgar is in quarterfinals. They just actually no, they're going to the semifinals against Independiente del Valle. And so he's gonna be
A
a keeper.
giant in
Yeah,
South American football.
yeah,
Sebas Mendes came from Independiente del Valle.
yeah. So Melgar is gonna play against Independiente del Valle. Carlos Cáceres is their number 1, and he got 3 PK saves in the quarterfinal match that decided he pretty much gave the victory to Melgar against Internacional de Porto Alegre, one of the biggest teams, one of the at least top 5 in Brazil. So I'm just saying, guys. I mean, but I think Alessi should stay in the MLS. I think his family's happy. He loves
Yeah,
Orlando.
for
He
sure,
loves
for
Central
sure.
Florida. So I mean, let's make it happen.
And and one thing people
All right,
forget,
let's say
when
Victor
Miguel
Sanchez.
Gallardo was our goalkeeper, the reason why he stayed was because the people made him feel welcome, and we need to do the same for Pedro. I mean, Pedro has given us so much and asked for so little. To be honest with you, because Pedro's not going on TV and radio or podcast talking trash like I belong, I deserve better. If they don't pay me, I'm out of here. You have never seen anything like that. He's like always talking about the game in hand, about how much he likes playing in Orlando, about his about his teammates. So that's something to think about.
Hey, right now Ronaldo's doing bad. They want to fire him in Man United. Hey, his best friend played here, all right, in Orlando. Why not, Musi? Come on, Musi.
No,
Hey,
Ronaldo can come here because the
does
FBI and ICE are gonna be waiting for him at the airport.
Ronaldo? Why? Oh, Ronaldo. Really? Oh my God, Ronaldo's wash. Says we need Messi. Says Christian Seidel. He said Joshua told that won't happen. It's like, you imagine Ronaldo signing with Orlando City? Man, that'd be fantastic.
He's
I
going to
mean,
Miami. I mean, Messi's going to Miami.
Messi, yeah, Messi Ronaldo, el clásico, Sunshine Clásico.
I
Ronaldo
don't
and
know, man.
Orlando.
I mean, does Messi come to MLS? And if he does, what kind of Messi are we getting? I mean, the guy is it's quite up there in years. So
No, yeah, for sure, yeah, yeah. I mean, but he's Messi though, right? Okay, so let's read some comments and then let's go to the next. Gabriel Montañez, Pato. A ver, I think they want to say, ¿Cómo está Pato? It says, how's Pato doing? Dave, you wanna just give him the breakdown real quick?
sí, sí, sí. Bueno, Gabriel, ya hablamos de eso. So, si quieres puedes ver el principio del video una vez terminamos de grabar. But nada, ahora mismo está lastimado y estamos esperando las últimas acerca de la exploratoria que se le va a hacer en su rodilla, pero por el momento pensamos que no va a estar jugando el resto de la temporada.
Sí, and we don't think he will be in the Open Cup final. Yo no creo que esté en la final de la Open Cup. Me encantaría que esté sin duda, pero lo dudo mucho que llegue. Ahora, sería un milagro que esté apto, ¿no? Que no
He's
tenga
gonna be there.
nada.
He's gonna be in the bench, with his teammates, but he's not gonna be playing. No
And
va
I
a
want to
jugar.
add something. I think that point that you made, Dave, was perfect because you I've seen, because I had the privilege to, and I want to thank Orlando City Communications to cover and seen him how he interacts with the players. He's a big personality in the locker room. I mean, he makes everybody smile and have a bright day. He is a positive influence in that locker room, and they're gonna need him. And I will say, if I'm the front office, if they haven't done this already, have him travel with the team, even if he's injured. I will have him travel with the team. And obviously, not at every game, but at least the games that truly matter. Against Miami, again, the U.S. Open Cup final. He needs to be there because certainly, he's definitely going to be missed in that locker room. Let's say Joshua Toll. That's amazing. Says that's amazing. Well, thank you, sir. Says, do you know the Villages team? Christian Seidel. Do you know the Villages? Village people? YMCA?
No, it's the Village FC. It's League Two team.
Oh, it's from
USL League Two.
the actual villages in Orlando?
Yeah, the villages over there in Sumter County. Yeah, they actually have a USL League Two team. It's called the Villages. They actually had they defeated Rowdies, they would have played us, but it wasn't meant to be
Oh,
this.
that would have been hilarious.
Oh, I would have loved that. I want
That
if,
would've
if
been
that would have
funny.
happened, I wanted to play in the Villages, man.
That's
I'm telling you,
hilarious. That
it
would have
would have
been
been a
funny.
riot. I want to go to the Villages to play Villages FC.
Wow. Hey, I'm gonna. How would they chant? Yo soy los villages.
What a golf cart.
All right, enough internet. All right, go to bed. Get out of here. Yeah, with the golf cart and the poof. You know what I'm talking about, right? That stuff
Yeah.
too. Yeah, you see that? Run the other way.
Dale mi corazón, dale mi villages, te quiero campeón. No llores, por favor.
Luis wants to sing. Luis is practicing for
Luis is
September 7th.
practicing.
Yeah, for September 7th, I'm practicing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We gotta get in there
Yeah,
and get motivated. I'm
right.
happy. I'm excited about what's gonna happen, my friend. Oof. Now we go to the nitty gritty. Before we go into the pride, I want to say one thing about the pride because a few months ago, people were creating this tinfoil hat theory that the Wills were tanking the team on purpose to move it to Minnesota or to sell it.
No.
And obviously that has I am ashamed to say that Jared Dillon had to go on Twitter. This is embarrassing that he had to go on Twitter to tell people that was not true. Dillon is learning real quick that if you want people's attention, you got to go on Twitter. You can't just do it on the proper channels. You can do it on the website. You can do it on the radio. You can't do that. You have to go on Twitter because that's where the crazy coots live and create this craziness. And we have given headmaster Seb Hines the credit. I gotta tell you one thing. I like Seb Hines, the person. Also, great football IQ. Had the pleasure to talk to him at the Rowdies game. He was present. Always a gentleman. The guy loves this community, and that cannot be underestimated. And one of the things about him is that he took this challenge with complete humbleness, and he has proved people wrong. He didn't show up. He didn't. The man doesn't give interviews where he's talking about how great he is. He's doing. He's about to put this club in playoff contention with no notice, no ability to pick the players, and with two friends that are doing him a solid. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I will have to say it's also the culture that they are definitely they have ingrained in the players. A winning mentality that they got also from Minchie and several other coaches that they got here in Orlando City. But I mean, this is a testament to the players. I want to say Julie Doyle. These are athletes that it's their first time playing the NWSL. Julie Doyle, Michaela Clough, um, Carrie Abello, which I mean, Abello is playing at such high level. In my opinion, she's one of the top prospects. You know, in the East at least. If nobody, I mean, she was a steal for Orlando Pride. And so Orlando Pride right now, they got a lot of workhorses, people that are working together to win, and they don't care how they win, but you could see a drive in their eyes that everyone goes to defend the ball. I've never seen that, and I've seen that with. I mean, I don't want to disrespect anybody else that was here before, but I mean, I didn't see it when it was Morgan and LaRue and Ali Krieger and all that stuff. I honestly didn't see that drive. I see this drive of these young players wanting to really give the win to their fans, you know, truly caring. So Leah Pruitt, I mean, I can name them all. Villacorta, I'm telling you, I mean, these are women that are these are athletes that are going to get far in this league. And right now, Orlando Pride has 18 points. They earn a victory against San Diego Wave with Alex Morgan right there, and they extend its unbeaten run to 6 games. The Pride's Mauricio Pereira is Maggie Darty Howard. She pretty much was the playmaker in the mid. And then their Pedro Galese is Erin McLeod, Olympic gold medalist, 6 saves in the match. Two of them late saves to preserve the victory. And they got a shutout. Because they won 1-0 against San Diego Wave. San Diego Wave, truly, they play one of the worst games I've seen them play in a long time. But honestly, I'm so happy for them because it's reivindication for the squad, right? Everybody threw the towel already for the Pride. They already threw the towel, and they're on the verge to clinching playoffs. So I commend them for doing that. I don't know. What are your thoughts there, Paula?
I saw the first 45 minutes and I love what I saw because they every single player at the pitch, they were like moving forward and attacking and defending, like you just said. Like they were not a single person by themselves, and I like what I saw. Like they were created chances. They were fast paced because I think I never seen San Diego play. But we crushed them. What I saw, we crushed them. Like their skills. I was like, oh my, like what is this? Because it's not comparing where I saw when they started in the beginning of the season is not what they're playing right now. This is solid soccer. I like what I'm seeing. I fell asleep. I'm the worst. I fell asleep because it went halftime and I was tired. But I wish I could finish the game. The first thing that I woke up, I'm like, oh my god, did the Pride won? Ooh, we won to against Alex Morgan, and Alex Morgan was one of my favorite players. So, and I never got the chance to see her here. But anyways, I like what I'm seeing about the Pride. Is a different mentality. You can see it in the pitch, and David said it before. The players are a reflection of the coach, and you can see it right there with the Pride.
Yeah, I mean, I think this team knows how to play as the underdog, and they excel at playing the underdog game. They love when other teams think as them as less, and that drives them. And that's one thing that I can definitely see Miguel Gallardo, Seb Hines, and Giles Barnes in driving that into them, right? I mean, this is football. This is sometimes David and Goliath, and that's what it was against San Diego Wave. I mean, you're talking about they had Alex Morgan, Taylor Korniak, former Orlando Pride players, playing their best soccer in the past 2 seasons, and they're in the women's national team. So just imagine that. But I think I like the way the Pride are handling themselves. I knew something told me that when the change for Seb was coming, that this was going to be beneficial, and I'm so happy that this is happening to Seb's, Giles, and Miguel. And Miguel is an outstanding guy, family man, one of the workest men in the club, in my opinion. Uh, Fantastic work ethic and a hell of a goalkeeper. And I think Aaron McLeod having a shutout night with 6 saves, that says a lot of what he's doing with that Orlando Pride. And I want to add, to change the subject to OCB and then read the comments. Honestly, Orlando Pride's still making moves. They just acquired forward Ali Watt from the OL Reign for $125,000 in allocation money. Essentially, they're very excited. Ian Fleming, the general manager of the Pride, announced it today. They're very happy that they're getting a young player with lots of potential. She was the 2026 overall pick out of the draft. She played in Texas A&M, and she's played also in Australia for Melbourne City, one of the top teams there. She essentially, in the 2020 NWSL Challenge Cup, she tore her ACL, and she only played about 13 or 14 minutes. And then she was traded to Colorado, to All Reign. And then they essentially, pretty much she was in the back burner because Oil Reign now has Jodie Taylor and all those players. So she's now a member of the Orlando Pride, and I think they see it as a low risk, high reward player, right? And I think coming from a good club like Oil Reign, I'll take it. More depth for the attacking third. What are your thoughts there, Dave?
I am on record that the Orlando Pride was badly constructed at the beginning, giving away all the draft picks for like 3 years, I think. I mean, it was really bad, and also basically bringing a lot of players that were all national team players. So every time there was any type of international activity, we have no team to play with, and a lot of names that not necessarily brought us anything. I mean, the fact of the matter is that some of the players that were brought here just to entice their husbands, or to entice their husbands to come to Orlando City. I mean, it was just a bad setup. I'm just happy that we finally are building a team as God intended, rather than just throwing a bunch of names at the wall and see what sticks. With that said, again, Seb Hines is doing what he's supposed to be doing. And one comment, Luis, you mentioned Miguel Gallardo. It's unfortunate that a lot of our fans never got to see Miguel Gallardo at his prime.
It's a great keeper.
And yes, and and you know what, you can go on YouTube and still watch those old games from Orlando City and USL. Miguel Gallardo, in my opinion, should have been brought to MLS at least as a third stringer, at the very least. The greatest injustice this club had ever done in the USL era was not bringing Miguel Gallardo. I have said that 1,000 times, and Miguel knows himself. Every time I run into Miguel, I tell him he's just sick and tired.
He's a first and foremost. When I first, he was one of my when I used to go to the USL times. He was one of my favorite players, believe it or not. I mean, all the saves he did.
One of my favorite players, and Miguel. The offers on the table, Papa. Don't leave me alone.
Yeah,
here. We want to see you. We want to interview you. I want to find out how you broke your leg in Bayamon, Puerto Rico, when you played with the Aztecs. I've been dying to ask you that question. The man broke a leg in my hometown, 10 minutes away from where I grew up. I want to find out how he managed to do that. But never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. And he's a phenomenal guy. Like, I had the pleasure to meeting him in person. Super approachable, personable, and believe it or not, I was at first like, oh crap, this is Miguel Gallardo, shit, like and no, I mean he's down to earth, and you can definitely tell that he loves the city. He loves the city, and you know what more can you ask, right, for somebody that truly cares and believes in the culture of the club and wants to change it, right?
And the man
So
has given up a lot to our youth
of course,
football.
of course. So now you see it with the Pride now, as helping out Giles Barnes and Seb Hines, and I think that's fantastic. So,
Enough
anyways,
said.
Victor Rivera, you didn't miss much when Alex was here, unless she was playing for the national team. She hardly played for the Pride. There you
I
go.
agree.
There you go. So let's go and talk about OCB. They got a win also, 2-0 against NYCFC 2,
Mm-hmm.
courtesy of Jack Lynn and his brace. 20
Yes.
points, 2-0 at Belson Stadium. Right?
All the glory goes to the guy scoring the goals.
That's
But
right.
right there in this bunch of names, that all Otero had a fantastic game. Freeman and Williams. These guys are the future at the center back position for sure. But again, I gotta blow the horn of a guy that I really high on, because I see this guy as a future player that Orlando City might even sell overseas. It's Moises Tablante, the guy from Valencia, Venezuela. Moises Tablante, and I don't get sick and tired of
Right.
talking about this kid. This kid is talented, super humble, and he's somebody that has the patience of a saint, waiting patiently for his time. He has seen others be called upon the big team, the first team before, while he waits at OCB. I am telling you right now, 2023 is the year for Moises Tablante. You cannot hold this kid back anymore. This guy, in my opinion, is ready for prime time. This guy is gonna be making headlines. So Moises Talantejinos, I had the pleasure of interviewing him for Tiro de Esquina podcast, and I ran into him last season at a academy game, and the kid's super humble. Just I tried to praise the guy, and he wanted to deflect all the praise to the team. And Moises, if you're listening, you're watching, I know your dad likes to consume a lot of Orlando City content. If your dad is watching, the future is bright, and that's what I want to get to.
What do you think, Paola, about OCB and this game against New York City FC 2?
I didn't have the chance of watching this game, but I'm glad that they win because I knew that they were not, getting wins. But I'm happy. I want to see Tablante and Otero too. I wish I can see him I know that they practice with the first team, but I want to see him in the bench with Gales and the rest of the players. I'm glad that Williams is gaining minutes because the future is bright for him. I'm super fan of him, and they need to develop themselves on this game. So I'm happy for this win, for this dub.
Fantastic. No, first and foremost, if I am la Federación Venezolana de Fútbol, if I'm the Venezuelan national team, I'll be looking into Javier Otero and also Moses Tablante. There are 6 teams now in South America that qualify for 2026 World Cup, plus one going to international playoff spot. So there's 7 teams. I don't doubt Venezuela has the pedigree to get in there for sure. They're the better team than Bolivia, and I think Bolivia is probably the one who's going to be out. Maybe Paraguay also. So Venezuela has a huge chance. Why not? taking advantage of two players that are on the up and up, right? That want to play for their for. I mean, if they're given the chance, why not? Also, I think Moises Tablante should have more minutes in Orlando City in the first team. We now, especially with Pato being out, I would like to see him maybe playing that role, which he can definitely do. I don't know what Dave thinks about that. I believe he can.
Listen, I don't have people that know me. People that have known me for years. They know how high I am on Moises Tablante. Kenneth, our friend Kenneth Ortiz, who did Tiro de Esquina with me for years, was really high on this guy. And Kenneth doesn't give praise to no one. I have to tell you, I'm really big on him. He had the opportunity to see minutes against Arsenal, and did very well. To be honest with you, um, the problem with Tablante has always been the fact that he doesn't have a green card. He has been living in Central Florida for years. He actually came into the equation during his middle school years. His team played against the Orlando City B Academy. They liked him. They invited him over. Rest is history. So hopefully that opportunity is gonna present itself. Moises Tablante has what I like about a player: speed, good IQ, under the right tutelage. This could be a very very deadly player. And besides, it's also a guy that has a nose for goal. Has a nose for goal, and I really really like that. He shoots very well from outside of the box, something that we haven't seen in Orlando City in a very very long time since Nani. Actually, I think Nani has been the only player that I can think of in the last 4 years that has that touch to go outside of the box and just put out the golazos. So that's all I have to say. I mean, there's a lot of talented guys in OCB. There's only X amount of spots um, in the first team. I see a question there from Victor Sanchez about Wilfredo Rivera. This is what I have to tell you. As a Puerto Rican, I'm super disappointed that he was sent on loan. I have seen him play for the Puerto Rican national team at U20, U22, and the first team, and he's a talented number 10 and number 7. That's all I gotta say about that. He was sent to Indy 11. I watched some of the games. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's coming from the bench on a team that is a really bad team. He usually comes in when all is lost. He's there with Raul Aguilera, who played for Orlando City. And to be quite honest with you, I just don't see how this loan is helping him any. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you. Did we send him because he opens up a space for some of the players that we signed this past window? Perhaps. Me personally, I just don't see how he's benefiting this kid any. I want to remind everybody that he had already been offered a scholarship at USF. That's what his parents wanted. They never envisioned a professional football for him. They just wanted him to be able to go and get free college by playing football. He turned that down to come to Orlando City, the first team, and quite honestly, we have not given him an opportunity. I'm here to tell you the guy is talented as young as he is. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any minutes, so that's the situation. The loan to Indy 11, again, in my personal opinion, probably one of the worst teams to have sent him to because he is wasting his time there. And if it's one of these, okay, let's send him on loan to get rid of him, then a shame because I think he can benefit Orlando City.
Right. Let's. I think he should have had some minutes in the first team for sure. I was surprised why he never got the chance, but
Let's
again,
do comments.
Yep. Uh, Joshua Tall, do you think there is a chance that Orlando City calls Tablante out?
Can't because he's not an MLS player. He is MLS next, so they cannot be called up to the first team. They can only be called if they are MLS players sent on loan.
Christian Seidel, what do you think about the World Cup and what will you cheer for? I will cheer for. I think there's a conspiracy for a World Cup. I think personally, I believe this is set to be an Argentina-Portugal final, the final showdown. Who's the best ever? Messi versus Ronaldo. That to me is because that's gonna sell like hotcakes, and that's my conspiracy because both Qatar they pay Messi's salary, and then Ronaldo he has also ties with some businesses over there. So we'll see what happens. I'm just saying, personally, I would have not done the World Cup in Qatar if you want to be completely honest. But there you go. My sister got an ACL from Ocala Premier. There you go. Tromic, maybe three goals for Sev Hines. How many goals Sev Hines scored with the Orlando team? I don't know.
I can't remember off the top of my head how many, but I do know this. In a friendly against Bahia, Brazilian team, he scored 4 goals in one game. Sev Hines, you're a legend.
That's right. I like what you said about Ronaldo to Orlando City. That'd be hilarious. All right, guys. It's been a fantastic show today. I think we've covered a lot of the topics that we were set to do. Any final words you want to say, Dave, before we go?
Was that all the comments? I could have sworn that we have more.
I mean, there is like, oh wow, oh.
Yeah, but go up.
Which one do you want to read out, my friend?
I don't know if you can, because I can't cycle them as far back as you can. I saw a couple of interesting ones, and they're no longer there. If you keep. Like right now, the top of the list for me is the oh wow from Joshua Toll.
Is this,
can you go
okay,
back?
the Maccabi Haifa one. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to address that one. Come on, listen. It's rare occasions I get to flex my overseas teams.
There you go. It says I forget which one of you are the Maccabi Haifa fan, but they have a big tie coming up this week for you.
Yes, I want to talk about that one. So, Maccabi Haifa obviously is in the UEFA Champions League. Why is a nation country in UEFA? Well, political reasons, because some of their neighbors don't want to play them, so they gotta go where they're wanted. That's part of the deal. So they defeated Olympiacos out of Greece. Then they sent home Apollon from Cyprus, and they're playing here on the first leg this Wednesday, a team from Serbia. And I'm not gonna pretend I know this name. Zvena Zvezda. So that team. They're playing, and I gotta tell you, Maccabi Haifa is gonna be knocking heads, and but nobody cares until they start playing the English teams. That's when people are gonna realize the quality. And the reason why I watch games that are set 7 hours ahead, and why I have to. Why I love Maccabi Haifa. Maccabi Haifa is a great team. I think Israeli football is underrated. Our friend Dennis Chen, who played in Israel, can attest to that. So every time there's Israeli football, I see Dennis. I see you giving me the like. Thank you, sir. So, anyways, I just wanted to address that. But there was something else. Oh,
it says Pito.
I have a picture. We don't have time. I have a picture with Pito, who was former captain of the Puerto Rican team, Puerto Rican national team. The kid signed my shirt. To be quite honest, Victor, Pito's done. He's too old. He never took the opportunities. I thought that when he had the friendly against Orlando City, he was gonna shine. But he was happy playing in El Salvador and Nicaragua and places like that. Never zero ambition, and that's what happens. You can have the talents, but if you don't have the ambition, friends, that's it. So Pito, nice guy, by the way. But the fact of the matter is, he was happy playing in NASL and garbage leagues like that. So can't have that.
Okay, this says, do you like the object of the trophy? What does it look like again?
It's a
Christian Sadell.
trophy. The Open Cups will be probably the bigger than MLS Cup. I can tell you that.
¿Te parece? Uh,
That's a big trophy. Listen. I don't care. I'm gonna be taking pictures with the trophy, and I already told everybody I'm gonna do the Michael Jordan with the trophy,
Parece
crying and with my hat.
it looks like a cereal bowl, but with, right?
Well, yeah, it's like a cup.
Yeah, it's like a cup.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully they don't pour beer on it, right?
You know these savages don't have any morals.
You know what the club should do?
Uh,
Orlando does win the cup. Sell the replicas. People will love
don't
to
give him any
understand.
ideas, Luis. Don't
No,
give these people any
dude,
ideas.
I'll
David
buy
is the
one.
first one. David is the
Yeah,
first.
look. This is what the trophy looks
There
like.
you
I don't
go.
know.
Sell Orlando City. Sell the replicas. You guys
You
want to
know
make?
this. I am tired of telling this club ideas of how they can take
Pepas.
my money. I am just sick and tired of telling them. You know that one of the things that I told them is like, the club has such a fantastic photographer and such great pictures. I told Jared Dillon, and Dillon, I'm gonna put you on the spot, man. I told him, I said, Jared, you know what? Why can we make these pictures available as posters for the fans to buy them? I want that. Charge me $10, $20 here. I'm just telling you, they have done nothing about it. It's a shame. That picture of Rodrigo Schlegel doing the Ronaldo in the against Nashville, I would have gone 11 by 17 feet. I would maybe take a whole wall. That's what I would have done. You know what I'm saying? This club, I'm so tired of telling Orlando City, this is how you take my money, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. So yeah, give us posters. That's what the fans want, posters. So this is what's gonna happen. We win Open Cup. They're gonna come out with the shirts and the hats and the scarves, and of course they're gonna like have like 30 of them. So the rest of us get nothing. That's what they did with the Puerto Rico merch for the friendly. I ended up finding a scarf through my channels, through fans that love me and gifted it to me. But that day I went to go get one. I was out of the first 5,000 fans that walked in there. By the time I made my way to the team shop, nothing. I was lucky. I actually got a Puerto Rico shirt, $60. I still have it.
Well, I want to buy. I want to wear a Puerto Rico jersey for
Oh,
sure.
bro, you can get one for $40 if you go to the federation's website.
Website?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shoot!
I have the commemorative one for the friendly against Orlando City. I mean, come on, I had to have it. And then I have one signed by Pito Ramos that Victor mentioned already, and I also have the latest one. I mean, they're nice shirts. The ones that the latest ones, the latest design that I came up with. Not for nothing. I'm not being biased. I mean, it looks very nice. Out of the Caribbean nations, Puerto Rico probably has one of the best jerseys out there. And like I said, I'm not being biased because in the past they were the last model they had. It looked very much like the Paraguay home jersey, um, but this time they just tried something unique. And
I understand. Okay, so last few comments here says, Etromic, we need a giveaway for Open Cup final. Every seat should have one scarf, flag, and a purple square. I mean, for season pass holders, for sure.
uh, I mean, of course. I mean, listen, if we win the Open Cup, for us that have been giving this money to this club, hey, give me, send me something. Tell me you love me. Tell me sweet nothings to my ear. Put me
I
to bed.
remember Victor Rivera says, I wear my PR tank top and necklace. I remember Seeing that in high school too, when like Cubans against Puerto Ricans, because people used to wear
It's the same flag, just inverted
yeah,
colors.
el cubano tank top, right? Yeah, and then the Puerto Ricans will wear their Arroyo jerseys. Oh my God, fights, fights. Christian Seidel, is there a couple of small soccer fields outside the stadium?
Well, are we talking about Main Street?
Yeah, in Paramore, right at night. You should go 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, listen. The only time that I had exercised zero judgment about hanging out in the streets of Paramore at night was after Pints with Pareja, where I found myself with our friend Gavin Rushnell and Adam, who also is also in the podcast with him. And at some point, after having a great conversation with them, I said, "Guys, let's get the hell out of here. It's 11:30, and we're in the middle of Paramore, talking like we are, in a safe zone." No disrespect to Paramore, but I mean, some guys were already looking at us with eyes of lust, and I ran into my car and got out of there.
No, we had to, we have to walk because the press parking lot, it's like right there. So we
No
have to
security.
definitely. Yeah, well, it's secured. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
but
that
I'm
it's
saying security doesn't walk you to your car.
no, 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 no. We walk. We walk. No, but we
That's
see a lot of
unacceptable.
we see a lot of fans that they stay grab a gay D on the fence to
Hmm.
wait for the players to come out, right?
I haven't done that in a while, man. I need to do that. I thought that the players were parking inside that parking area.
Yeah, they
So, but
are.
now,
They have valet parking. Yeah,
okay, now that I know that, I'm definitely gonna go on and try to get some signatures on some hot items that I got. I know it's close to the 2 hour mark, and probably half of our
yeah, we have to.
fan
Yeah.
base is already checked out because they know this is garbage time here. But I have to say, I can't wait for Atlanta to come to town. I have a game worn USL era Dom Dwyer jersey that I would love for him to sign. So I am putting all my hopes that the man chooses to sign my jersey on that day. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, I want to go ahead and thank everyone for being part of the show today. Thank you so much. If you are just now listening or watching, drop us a like, subscribe, not only on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, but also on YouTube. Click on the notification bell for all notifications. We're Loud and Proud Orlando. We're also live on Facebook and live on Twitter at LPO_podcast. Thank you so much. Paula, you want to say last things you want to say?
Of course, thank you for tonight. Tomorrow I will be doing Tiro de Esquina podcast. Same thing that we talked today, but in Spanish. So just follow us. What happened? I'm gonna invite you. I'm gonna invite you. Don't worry. Don't worry. So tomorrow, follow us on Twitter at TE Esquina podcast, and then YouTube as well and Instagram. So thank you for the support.
All right, guys. Dave, last things you want to say before we?
The legendary David. That's my vlog. Also, I know I have 100% certainty he's not gonna listen to this, but I want to thank my good friend Matt, who is a podcaster in England for Stevenage. He invited me to Matt Farley, who invited me to a Twitter Space today. I had the opportunity to talk to 30 fellow Stevenage fans. We're having a fantastic season, baby. Promotion. And tomorrow we're playing, and we're playing Saturday, and it hopefully it will be a 6 point week. And I just wanna thank them because they show me a lot of love, and a lot of those guys are telling me they're following Orlando City because of yours truly. So there you go. Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. Again, if you're listening to it, thank you so much also for your support. Drop us a like, subscribe to our social media, and vamos Orlando. Vamos Orlando, guys.
Vamos, Orlando.
Vamos.